Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Jaime Cerreta. On this podcast, we celebrate everything local in Arizona. And I have with me a Valley couple. They are both natives to Arizona. They work in the floral and public relations industry. I want to introduce Eric of Cactus Flowers and Tatum of TLC Public Relations, the Luomas. Hello, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me.
Good to be here.
It's great to see you.
Good to see
we
you.
were chatting just before we got started here about growing up here in Phoenix in the Valley, because we all did. Tell me, Tatum, where did you grow up?
I grew up Tatum and Greenway area. I'm a Horizon Husky graduate. I'm actually a third-generation Arizona native, so our roots run deep here.
Oh, my goodness. What made the family move here originally? Do you know?
Oh, gosh, that's a great question. My grandma was born here. Literally, my dad then grew up in the Arcadia area. He went to high school with like Steven Spielberg, the original Wonder Woman, and we never had a reason to leave. So now we have two kids that we're raising as Scottsdale natives as well.
Oh, how cool. Eric, what about you? Where'd you grow up?
Born in Glendale, Maryvale Samaritan, which is not there anymore, I don't think. And then we moved to Scottsdale when I was 4 years old. And that's when my mom started Cactus Flower, because she had this passion to do flowers. So,
what was it about flowers for her?
You know, she worked at a flower shop in Glendale, Payne and Morrison, but they're gone as well. And she's always been so creative and very in touch with flowers and planting, gardening, every part of the whole floral side. And my dad was working at Goodyear Aerospace out in Goodyear, and they wanted to move closer, so he got a job at Motorola. And she decided to open this flower shop at Scottsdale and Shea back then, and that was what she always wanted to do. So it was her and her best friend worked there, and it was small town.
Yeah, and I think of Cactus Flowers because I totally remember going to pick out my corsage for prom, sending my mom to get it for me in the morning. In fact, I recently got one. I was in a Glendale parade a couple of years ago, and I had a poinsettia made as well. So you tell me about the locations, because there are 3 around the valley, right?
Yes, yeah. So Scottsdale and Shea, which is by our high school, Chaparral High School. Go Firebirds.
Go Firebirds.
And we have one in Carefree, which is just a lovely community, and the store is doing so well, and the community really has embraced us, and it's just a charming little area. And then our third one's down in Chandler, and totally different vibe, totally everything. But it's a neat location. The people in Chandler are big Cactus Flower fans too.
So 53 years ago, what did that look like as far as importing flowers to the Arizona desert?
Well, yeah, 53 years ago, we could buy flowers from the Baseline flower growers here in Phoenix. They did have some a lot of local farms down there that are now Raven Golf Club, and a lot of houses, multifamily housing, things like that kind of took over where the farms were. But most of the flowers in America back then came from California or someplace on the East Coast. A lot of local family farms growing roses and carnations and daisies and all those the staples. Then you'd get occasional stuff from Hawaii, but now it's the United Nations of products. We get them all over the place, but California is still a big part, but those farms are closing very fast because housing is become a lot more profitable to plant a home than it is to plant a rose and then to take care of it and sell it.
Right. It is farming, and it's very difficult, for sure, and then reliant on Mother Nature, et cetera.
For sure.
Oh, my goodness. So, Tatum, did you study marketing or public relations in college? Did you go to ASU?
I did. I'm a Sun Devil. Graduated from Arizona State University. I went through the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with an emphasis in public relations. Like most students, I started out there not quite knowing what I wanted to do. Thought it'd be something in communications or marketing, but didn't know what that looked like. By my sophomore year, I realized I wanted to explore the journalism school, and it had a few different opportunities. So I was one of those students that I loved writing. I loved the news reporting, but I also was very interested and curious about public relations. And I couldn't quite decide, so I did both. I freelanced for magazines and newspapers. I had internships focused on public relations, so I could really learn more about that. So for me, it was the best of both worlds. And my professors did say you do have to decide what you want to do eventually. So I gained as much experience as possible. And I actually had an amazing professor, Bruce Ituli, definitely the most challenging professor I ever had, who really made me work hard for my grade. But he really encouraged me to pursue writing and do journalism and be an investigative reporter, which I did and I loved. But the more I did it, the more I realized my passion, my love really lied in public relations. And actually, there was a story where I wrote a cover story actually for the Phoenix New Times as part of a class assignment. And it started out as a class assignment. You just had to do an in-depth story and get it published somewhere. So I wrote an in-depth story that focused on high school students and them leaving campus during the lunch hour to go off campus, eat lunch, and then drive back. But what I had seen in high school was kids race out of the parking lot and race to get lunch and race to get back before class starts. And tragically, a classmate of mine was racing back with his friends to get back to school and was in a very bad car accident, which went from a star athlete to a paraplegic. And so I wrote about his story and I told his story and I interviewed a lot of people for that story. And when it went from being just a class assignment to then being the cover story of the Phoenix New Times, I realized not everyone wants to be featured in that way. Not everyone wants to be interviewed for something like this. And so for me, decided I was not a hardcore investigative news reporter, but I wanted to be a storyteller. And I found that I could do that through public relations and telling people stories on their behalf.
Could you picture Tatum like chasing after somebody?
I mean,
I want to get the hard story.
I can picture her doing whatever she wants, whatever it is. And it's very uncomfortable. I mean, I have done that too. It is very uncomfortable. And it's like, I'm doing my job. I want to help you tell this story in this moment. I'm sorry. It's the worst moment right now. But then people get mad. Well, they never covered this, da-da-da. Well, you have to give people the opportunity. And that's what I always would say. This is an opportunity. You don't have to take it. You can come back to me later. I totally get it. But it's a rough thing to have to do.
It really is. And it's rewarding. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. But I knew at the end of the day, I was like, that's not where my passion lies. And I really want to explore other areas and be able to tell those stories through public relations efforts.
I think we're very well suited to cover resorts.
Well, let's talk about I was drooling over this list of clients.
Thank you,
Cactus Flowers.
Of course, my VIP client is Cactus Flowers, or my pro bono account.
Yeah, he always gets VIP. But tell me some of these resorts because, ooh-wee.
I mean, so I love to travel. And for me to be able to combine my love and passion for public relations and my love for travel is the best of both worlds. And so when I was interning at actually the Marts Agency in college, I worked on various accounts. I realized technology, not my thing. Real estate, not that exciting, but I got to work on the Barrett-Jackson Classic Car Auction account along with Sanctuary and Camelback Mountain Resort. And to me, I'm like, this is this hidden gem in public relations no one really talks about. And I quickly discovered you could promote hotels, resorts, destinations, and be a storyteller on their behalf. So I started TLC Public Relations in 2013, and I wanted to stay focused on what makes me happy and what's exciting and I'm passionate about. So that's hotels, resorts, destinations, restaurants, spas, anything that falls under that hospitality umbrella. So my clients are mainly in Arizona, the Southwest, and Hawaii. Clearly all places I love to travel to, so I will gladly represent them.
Yeah, you have to go make a visit to the Sheraton Maui Resort and Spa.
Absolutely.
Make sure they're good to go.
I was just there.
I will carry your bags. I'll be an intern. Tell me about, because you were an intern. The Marts Agency, was that when you guys met? How did this happen?
It actually is. So I was at the Marts Agency, which is no longer. I went from the Marts Agency to Bob Parsons, but I was an intern there. It was actually my last internship in college. I was trying to decide what I want to do. And
was that PR or was that marketing?
That was public relations. Okay, and so I had interned there, and then they offered me a job to be there full time after I graduated from college. And the day that I went to lunch with my boss to talk about my future, my career at the Marts Agency, we happened to bump into this very handsome gentleman who was having lunch there. And my boss, Mark Stanton, he's now the president of the Scottsdale Chamber of Commerce. He introduced Eric and I. He said, this is Mr. Cactus Flower. I'd like to introduce you to. And he introduced me, and I walked away. I'm like, ooh, who is this handsome gentleman? And he kind of took my breath away. I walked away from that meeting, and he turned to his friend.
I was with my insurance agent.
Sexy.
we were just having
crunching numbers.
And I said, man, I'm going going to marry that girl. He said, I don't have a chance.
So did you receive flowers day after day after day? What was the courting process? How did you guys connect then?
Break her down. Stalk. Mostly stalking.
I thought it was very coincidental. We were bumping into each other at events and charity functions and parties, things I was attending for my job, because at that time I was in full-time with the Marts agency, and Eric just so happened to be there, and he called it stalking, I called it, we were running into each other and became friends. And after about a year of kind of those chance encounters, we started dating. We were married in 2006, so we just celebrated 19 years.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Thank you. And we have 2 boys, Caden and Landon.
And her boss was one of my best friends.
Yeah.
So he let you know where she'd be, is that right?
Yeah.
I might have had a schedule. That was,
he might have had the inside
leaked.
track. And he's still a very good friend of ours today. So he was my boss. He introduced us. He's still a mentor to me, very much a part of
and he's
of
the
our
mayor
world.
of Paradise Valley.
Yeah.
And he is the mayor of the town of Paradise Valley.
Mark Stan, is this Greg Stan is a
No.
relation?
No
Okay.
relation.
They get confused a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. I mean, both leaders in the community and whatnot. So, but I'm glad that you stuck with it and kept showing up.
Me too.
How cool is that?
It paid
And we
off.
have 2 wonderful kids to show for it,
Yeah.
and 20 years of travel and fun.
Yeah. Tell me about when you were growing up in the flower shop. What was your first job there?
Oh, my first job was often like cleaning flowers, sweeping. I was 4 years old, so it was doing whatever needed to be done that a 4-year-old could do. But as I grew cuter and more mobile, they would dress me up and as a Easter bunny around Easter time, and I would walk around the shopping center where our store was, or go to different areas, a Windmill Plaza area where there were a bunch of stores, and I'd hand out flyers and walk all over the place, and I'd be gone all day long, and my parents would like, where the heck did he go? And I'd come,
and
I would invariably come back with something, like, because I'd go visit all these shop owners and they'd give me a little treat because they see this cute little boy walking around giving flyers out, and I would come back with candy and all kinds of stuff. So but that was one of the first ones. Back then we were also Cactus Flower was also the post office in Scottsdale, because the city council asked us to open the post office because they didn't think that many people would move north of Shea Boulevard because it was so far out.
Yeah.
So we were the place, if you wanted to mail a package or buy stamps or do any of that stuff, they had to come to Cactus Flower to do that.
You were north of the city. You guys were the north end.
Right, we were on the fringe.
Yeah.
We had people, every week we'd have people ride up on a horse and get their flowers or mail their packages and ride off to the sunset with their items. And my mom designed a little loop thing to go around a saddle horn so people could take their flowers with them. It was small town.
Yeah.
I think
And it
I don't
wasn't
even
that
know
long
there's-
ago.
It was
It
not
wasn't
that
that
long
long
years
ago.
ago. Yeah, 53 years ago.
And we think of that that area there. It still is very horse property, it's just that everything. I mean, we all grew up in the area. I mean, I would go to desert parties that were, you mentioned Dynamite. You live off Dynamite.
Yeah.
I might have had my first margarita out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you and me both.
Mayo Hospital out there. That was
Yes.
up in the mountain. You could see, if you were going to be visited by the authorities who didn't want you out there,
Yes,
you could
yes.
always see them coming because you had the height advantage.
Not funny. Oh, glory days.
Yes, yes.
It was so fun, and it was, I guess, simpler times. I'm glad that I got to grow up without social media.
Yes.
And with that, I think I had a cell phone toward the end. I know I had a cell phone in college, but just kind of how technology has changed, delivery has changed, the business has changed. Tatum, for the luxury market, I mean, information has changed, how information gets out. And Scottsdale, I mean, when I went to ASU, I told people I grew up in Phoenix, which I technically had a Phoenix address, but went to the Scottsdale School District because people didn't know what Scottsdale was
Right.
Yeah.
in 94, whatever that was. Now, Scottsdale's international.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
I didn't realize when I was a kid, and it's obviously grown a lot, about how much our valley is dependent on our hospitality, our tourism, those big events like Barrett Jackson that come in. It's a major, we talk about major industry, it's hospitality here.
You're absolutely right. So before I started TLC Public Relations, I actually worked for Experience Scottsdale, which not everyone knows what that is, but basically we promote Scottsdale as a world-class travel destination. So they are the ones who do the public relations, advertising, marketing, trying to reach those potential visitors all around the world to choose Scottsdale over another destination. Obviously, being so passionate about the city of Scottsdale, growing up here, and loving the city so much, it was an easy sell for me. But through my job as Director of Public Relations, I got to work with travel media literally all around the world. So you look at those target markets and cities where visitors are coming from within the United States.
Who are they?
It's New York, it's Chicago, Southern California, San Francisco. When we're, it's 70 degrees in February and in New York or Chicago, they're shoveling snow. I mean, it's pretty easy to say, come to Scottsdale, it's warm and sunny.
Hang by the pool.
Germans.
Yeah, internationally, then it's Canada, Mexico, the UK, Germany. So it, to be able to promote Scottsdale as this amazing destination and pitch those hotels and resorts, the golf courses, spas, some of those more undiscovered gems that don't necessarily bring people here, but they discover once they're here, things like arts and culture, architecture. But, at the end of the day, it's truly the magnificent Sonoran Desert that sets this destination apart from anywhere else in the world. And so I worked there for nearly a decade, and I got to play essentially host to these media when they'd visit Scottsdale. So the number of times I've done a hot air balloon ride over the Sonoran Desert, or I've been to Frank Lloyd Wright's Taliesin West probably 50 times.
Oh my God.
I've stayed in our amazing resorts. I've experienced the spa treatments. I got to see Scottsdale through the eyes of these travel media and these visitors, and help tell that story as to why they should write about Scottsdale and what they should tell their readers or viewers as to why they should come here.
And Experience Scottsdale is one of the finest of that of that ilk, the destination management organization. That's
Absolutely.
one of the best and most respected in the world.
Yeah.
That Experience Scottsdale. It's a great place to get your training and
Yeah.
spend a decade at.
Absolutely. Rachel Sacco has been there for decades, and she's an amazing leader. There's no better person to promote Scottsdale and to tell that story. So I had the honor of working with her, Laura McMurtry, and the rest of the team over there. And truly, it was a dream job, and I had so much fun doing it.
We're going into summer now, which is our beautiful time to staycation.
Absolutely.
I love the staycation. I mean, you guys know I love Phoenix so much. So it's so fun to explore these different resorts and feel like a tourist and do all the tourist things around them. You represent the JW Marriott Phoenix Desert Ridge Resort. You guys have the lazy river there.
Oh,
right?
We have an amazing lazy river, 3 water slides. We have the restaurants by Angelo Sosa, Tia Carmen, and Kambara. That property's undergone an $80 million renovation over the past few years. So the things that they've added, especially to the Aqua Ridge Water Park at that resort, is pretty fantastic. I know it's a fan favorite for our children and for us to do a staycation.
Well, you get the lazy river, and then you get this fine dining as well. That's delicious.
Yes.
The Camelback Inn is just... the Camelback.
It's dreamy.
It is dreamy. I love just stepping on property with a sign that says "Where time stands still."
Yes.
And I always tell people to stop into that little chapel and just have a moment in that tiny little chapel and look at all the faces and names that came through there.
Who did that chapel? Was that Mrs. Lincoln? John C. Lincoln's wife?
I think you're right. I think you know that history better than I do.
Wow.
Look at you at that.
In all the world.
There's only one. Well, and that property holds special meaning to me. I actually, after I left the Marts agency, I was hired on by Marriott International, and I did public relations and marketing for 3 properties, including Camelback Inn. So about 20 years ago, I worked there as a marketing PR coordinator. My office at the time was an old guest room. We had the most incredible views of Camelback Mountain. That office is no longer there. They made room for meeting space. But I worked there 20 years ago, and about 5 years ago, they became my client. So my boss at the time, she's been there for about 30 years, Terry Worthington. She is now my client, so I get to represent that property all over again. And most people don't realize it is truly the landmark property for Marriott International. It was the first resort in the Marriott International portfolio. They purchased it in 1967, and still to this day, it's Mr. Marriott's favorite resort, literally in all the world. So every March he comes and spends his birthday. He just turned 93 there a couple weeks ago. So to me, it's just the beauty of the desert-inspired architecture, the desert setting. It's just, and the history is just, I love it. So
I got to stay there one time when I was in Oklahoma City. So it was OU was playing in the Fiesta Bowl here, and they sent me because I know a lot about sports.
Yes.
And they're like, send Jamie home, and she'll talk to the people, she'll know where to go, etc. So that was the Media Hotel.
Yes.
Was the Camelback Inn. And I had a couple of my girlfriends from college meet me, and we just had like a movie night, and those beds are just a delight. It was so just luxurious being there, but I still like to go have brunch or a happy hour at Rita's out there in the patio and the live music and just look at all the people enjoying our hometown. Like it just lights me up.
I volunteered at that resort for that.
You did through the Scottsdale Charros, yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Well,
we had the hospitality room.
Yeah.
Huge. Was it what's the suite?
The Manor House.
The Manor House
Yes.
suite, and we brought in video games and all the stuff to keep everybody happy and.
We were very happy. Thank you for that. There's lots of it was the Tostitos at the
Yes,
time.
yes.
We were taking bags. Like we were pretty much fueled on chips and queso,
and dips.
maybe a little salsa,
Maybe a margarita or two.
Yes, there's a lot of that, and also the
there.
video games and stuff. How funny! So I probably ran into you.
Yes.
I'm sure.
We were closing down the house every single night. The Sheraton Phoenix downtown. You think of how downtown has changed so much.
You know, it was funny. I was just when I was in New York last week talking to some media, telling them how downtown Phoenix has transformed greatly. I mean, growing up here, it's like we only went downtown if we were going to see like the Phoenix Suns play, go to a concert. It wasn't a place really where you went to hang out. Definitely not a dining destination like it is today.
It was a go and go home.
Exactly. There's no reason to stick around and experience it. And now you look at the number of amazing local restaurant or local chefs opening restaurants there. People living down there. It's become much more of a 24/7 vibrant community. Sheraton Phoenix downtown is a huge part of that. And so to that property, I started working with them right before COVID, and so to see how that property has transformed, they're actually the crown jewel of the Sheraton brand worldwide, and so what an amazing sort of beacon for the downtown area, and to have that in our community.
Yeah, it sure is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, ASU and Colangelo started that whole boom, and then with Crow really building ASU out downtown, and that is a huge campus now. I remember when it was just like a small couple office or a couple school places there, but now it's just amazing.
Yeah, I don't even recognize it when I go down there. And now the journalism school, Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, is there instead of
Was
Tempe.
it there, or where was it when you were there?
When I went there, it was in Tempe
Me
still.
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So, such good memories there.
Yeah, I had a great time at ASU. Thank you, Sun Devils,
Yes.
for my career. For my
Same.
career. Eric, let's talk about tariffs, because we know a lot's going to be happening when it comes to how you get in your supplies, how you get in your international flowers, etc. What's going on with you guys as far as business?
You know, I think every small business is affected by the whipsaw back and forth and just trying to figure out what tomorrow brings with your products. Supply chains are already so tough to manage. Then you're going to throw on these extra taxes and tariffs going back and forth. So we're just watching it. We stay active with the Society of American Florists in Washington, D.C., and they're issuing updates, guidelines, daily, weekly, to try to keep everybody abreast of what's going on, because a lot of our containers, baskets, vases, glassware come from Mexico or China. Corning Glass, who we used to get most of our stuff from, they sold and closed, and they moved to Mexico. So there's not options in the United States for us to go to get those kind of things. So we're just trying to keep abreast of all that. And our flowers, like I said, it used to be all California product for the most part. California, New Mexico, some of those places, or here in Phoenix. But that's changed drastically. So now about probably 60% of our product comes from California, and the rest comes from Asia, South and Central America, Europe, all over the place. So it's now we've got to figure out, is the tariff coming from Costa Rica any different than the tariff of the product coming from Thailand? So we've got to, it's measuring a whole lot more and being aware, globally aware of what we're doing. So it's very interesting to say the least.
Crunching all the numbers.
It's crunching it all the time.
Yeah, and
in a way we never used to have to do.
Yeah. And then you're also importing something that's has a very short lifespan.
Right.
Tell me about that.
Right. We're very much like a restaurant. And we create they create a dish with products from all over the place to make a plate of food. We create these floral masterpieces for your weddings, parties, birthdays, anniversaries, funerals. We cover all those celebrations and life milestones. So one arrangement could have products from 4 or 5 different countries, and you don't think of the consumer doesn't see that. We try to educate. We have classes all the time. We try to educate our customers so they can understand. We'll put little flags on different flowers so you can see this arrangement is part European, part South American, part American, and it's kind of the melting pot. And it's in I think in industries, I think it's one of the most unique, and that's just my bias. But I mean, who else can take all these things and put them together, and you can order it, have it custom made, and delivered in a couple hours. It used to be only pizzas could do that. But with DoorDash and Grubhub and all the other things, you can do a whole lot more of that. But with flowers, there's still something very special and very unique. And then we added beer and wine to our stores.
This is a pre-pandemic thing, which really saved us during the pandemic.
For sure, because then we were the only, what do they call it? The we were an essential business because we sold beer, wine, gourmet food baskets, things like that. So while literally all of my clients went on pause within a matter of 2 weeks, and I had 0 clients, all of a sudden our family flower shops were thriving because people couldn't spend time together, couldn't take someone out to dinner for their birthday or go out for brunch on Mother's Day. So everyone was spending more on flowers, and clearly we all needed wine and beer to get through the pandemic. So those sales increased as well. So you could send a bottle of Vouv to each of your friends, and you could have a little champagne night on Zoom. And so we interesting. So the beer and wine was just a great addition to our business, but it's something we're watching as well, because I just met with one of our liquor reps the other day, and they're watching the tariffs for wine and items coming out of Europe. So.
We're going to have to start exploring some American bubbly.
We'll keep an eye out for you.
Making that good Prosecco.
And we do sell Arizona wine, so we do keep it local as much as possible, too.
All right, tell me which one is that with the bubbles, the Arizona bubbles. I try to think of Arizona. I love Arizona wine, too, but I don't know that I've had a bubbly one.
Maynard is coming out with a new bubbly.
Is he?
Nice. I'll be the taste tester. I'd be happy. I'll volunteer. Jamie and I will be the taste testers.
I did a taste testing. And
yes.
I forgot to tell you.
Okay, so now it comes out.
What else did you not tell her? Any other good things you've eaten or drank?
To be fair, I've been traveling recently, so we're still getting caught up.
Was it James Beard House? So you've been eating some nice things too.
Yes.
I did bring you a champagne home.
Oh, thank you.
We'll split to try.
All right, well, send me a picture of the bottle. I am interested and need to go to Cottonwood.
Yes, so lovely up there. That's what we were talking about, staycations, and that's one of our favorite places to go. Just to get away from the heat a little bit, but do Sedona, and the kids are now at this great age where we can go hiking and do a lot of things. At 12 and 15 years old, they still want to do stuff with us, so we'll kind of hang on to that as much as possible.
Sure. Yes. So the Arizona road trip is something you like to do.
We love the road trips. We've done an RV trip, which I didn't think I'd ever get my wife in an RV unless I tricked her.
The pandemic convinced me. I said, okay, I will finally give this a try. Because whenever he'd bring up RV trips, how about Europe? How about Hawaii?
You're like, I have a lot of connections.
Yes, here's all my clients. Let's do this instead. And so the RV trip did happen during the pandemic, and it was one of the most memorable trips we've ever taken with our kids. 5 states, 4 national parks, 2 weeks on the road. More memories and life moments happened in those 2 weeks. It was incredible. At the end of it, I can say I would do it again. So,
okay.
And our kids have been to all over Europe. They've been to Hawaii. They've been to a lot of places in America. And we ask what their favorite trip is. Still to this day, they'll say the RV trip.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's something we love to do, is give them that gift of travel and show them the world, because I think we both know there's so much you can learn from traveling, the different cultures, the people that you meet, the challenges while you're traveling. Things don't always go so smoothly, and how do you handle that? So from the time we decided we want to have kids, we wanted to make sure we gave them that opportunity to see as much of the world as possible.
Eric, what does it mean to be part of this legacy of a 53-year-old family-owned business in Arizona?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's still a job, but I love my job.
Yeah.
And the being able to have people like you walk into the flower shop, or like Charles Barkley will walk in and the place goes crazy, and he's very good natured about the whole thing. But it's also the people I grew up with. They walk in and taking care of them for their weddings, their flowers, for their birthdays coming up, or different celebrations. We still have a lot of that community focus. And when my mom, she passed away 8 years ago now, but she always instilled in us to give back to the community. That's given us so much. So we continue to do that, and that's really a big part of Cactus Flower. And we have our Cactus Cares program, where we'll do for nonprofits. We'll do a matching dollar for dollar for your events, and we donate a lot, and manpower and dollars and flowers. So 53 years has been great.
Yeah.
Scottsdale's changed tremendously over the time, but we're still involved. Tatum and I both went through the Scottsdale Leadership Program. I'm involved with the Scottsdale Chamber of Commerce and
the Charros,
Scottsdale Charros, Scottsdale 2030. I mean, you name all these organizations that we're still involved with because we want to keep being involved with the community.
Yeah.
And if I can brag a
Yes, please
second
do.
on behalf of my husband, our family business Cactus Flower was just recently inducted into the Scottsdale History Hall of Fame, which is a huge honor. It's their 30th year, and I think we're one of 37 businesses that have been inducted over the past 30 years. So it was a huge honor and a very special opportunity to recognize, a small family-owned business that started in Scottsdale and still thriving here today.
Yeah. Going in history.
Yeah, that was very nice. Super nice. We're thrilled.
You have a lot of events where we can come in and learn DIY. People are loving the DIY. They love the classes these days. They love to learn.
They do, and I get it. They want experiential
Opportunities
things to do, right? So you can send someone flowers, or you can teach them how to make a flower arrangement. It's kind of it's a fun thing to do. Sometimes we'll get retained to do something for a bachelorette party who in town. So we'll go to the house that they've rented or the resort they're staying at, and we'll do a design class there. We'll make succulent wearables, so they can make rings and bracelets and necklaces using succulent plants, and then they can go out for the weekend and enjoy that. And but also just it's fun for people to go and learn something different. We every holiday we'll have different classes. Teaching you how to make a Christmas wreath or an Easter basket or a fall centerpiece. So, and throughout the year we do different classes. So it's very engaging for the clients. And they come in. We'll have beer and wine and cheese and make it a fun time. It's an hour and a half of your time, but you learn a life skill. It's really cool.
Have you taken any?
I have. I mean, there's a lot of aspiring florists out there. I've taken the class. Everyone thinks because I'm married to a florist, I know how to design. I know all the different flowers. I don't. I just appreciate the beauty of them. And Eric is still very wonderful about bringing flowers home for me. And it makes people happy. And I think, for us, when we meet people in the community, everyone has a story. Everyone has a life moment that Cactus Flower was a part of. And that's why we keep doing this, year after years, because we love being a part of everyone's moments, whether it's their wedding, a baby, or just everyday flowers.
So what flowers does Eric send you?
Oh my gosh. It differs all the time. And the designers love being able to be the ones that create the arrangement Eric brings home for me.
Oh, I think that'd be high pressure. I don't know. I'd be like, you can take that assignment.
I mean, he's given me everything from 5-foot long stem red roses on Valentine's Day to just a simple bouquet that the kids will bring home, because they were at the flower shop helping out, and they'll bring it home and give it to me with a handwritten card. And that's, I love that our kids are now growing up in the business, and it's all hands on deck. During holidays, they're sweeping rose petals on Valentine's Day. I will go deliver flowers, and I mean, that's something that brings me so much joy, is being able to actually hand that arrangement to someone and see their face light up and bring that happiness to them.
So at Valentine's Day and Mother's Day, Tatum and my friend Mark, the one that hooked us up, the two of them go out and deliver flowers together.
Oh,
And we have so much fun.
who's the driver?
Mark is the driver. I'm the navigator.
Yes.
He carries the flowers. I make sure we're at the right place. It's very much of a team effort. But that's truly, I mean, our friends, our family, everyone pitches in on those big holidays because Valentine's Day is our single busiest day of the whole year. Mother's Day, single busiest week of the year.
Wow.
So we're all in.
Yeah, all in.
Yeah.
And as we go into the summer months, we want to remind people to support local, to support your local florists, to support your local staycation opportunities.
Yes.
Go dine.
Yes.
I mean, God bless all the corporate places, but we got to put our money on our local guys who are trying to make it through another hot summer in Arizona.
Exactly. And that's one thing I try to emphasize in my acceptance speech at the History of Hall of Fame was of the 450 people there in attendance. I said, thank you all for supporting Cactus Flower, but also support all the other small businesses out there. This is a time when we need your support. If you have an opportunity to buy something, see if it's available local, and let's support the local people first, and give us the opportunity for your dollar, and let us be here for the long term. Because if you neglect the small business, they will go away, and then your options are a lot less. And I think your diversity of options out there is a lot more narrow and not as fun.
Yeah.
I still enjoy seeing the crowds going into Old Town Scottsdale and walking around and seeing all the different Native American gifts that they can buy and all the Western things. It's so funny to see people's passion to want to go after that Western theme. But it's the same thing we do when we go someplace else, and we go like, oh, look, it's just you
Show up in Nashville with your boots.
You go to Hawaii. You go to Hawaii and you've got a lay on.
Yeah,
and we're making hula skirts, and but you just want to embrace that local flavor. So shop local is a big part of it.
Yeah, amen to that.
Yes.
Eric and Tatum, so great to see you. Thank you for being here. Cactus Flower Florists and TLC Public Relations. Thank you to both of you.
Thank you,
Jamie.
Thanks for listening to Jamie's Local Love, the podcast. I'm your host, Jaime Cerreta. Our technician is Tom Heidinger. Our editors are Lorraine Shearing and Gina Coy. Do you know a business worthy of some local love? Email me at jcerreta@azfamily.com. Follow us at facebook.com/Cerreta and Instagram @Cerreta News. Make sure to subscribe and give us a 5-star review, please. And tell your friends about the podcast and the businesses we feature to show your local love. You can find us on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Jamie's Local Love, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast.